Dear friends, till now we have seen that how to create views on an activity and also make those views functional. Now let us today see that how we can jump from one activity to another activity. And also not only jump from one activity to another activity, but we would be required to transfer the data from one activity to another activity. That also today we will be seeing as part of this particular example. So this I have already created a new project. This is an empty project. So we can see that in a layout there is yet nothing. So let us have two edit text in which we would be expecting from a user that they would enter something, and then we will take those values to a next activity and display them. So let me first convert this to a linear layout. Linear layout. Yes. And then let us remove this text view because we do not want this text view. Maybe let it be there and name it as intent example. Our aim is to transfer or pass on the data from one activity to another activity. Of course, we'll have to create two activities in this example. Let it be edit text, match parent, height, wrap content, ID. Because we'll have to capture the values of edit text in a Java file, given ID as EDT. Let us assume that we will be transferring name and roll number to next activity. EDT name or roll number first. And then let us give a hint, enter roll number. Remaining thing let us not change because our focus in this example is to understand how to transfer the data from one activity to another activity and how on some action we can move to another activity. In this case, edit name, and here let us write edit or enter your name. Perfect. Now let us create one more activity. I'll go to this example or maybe Java folder, new, and then right click new, and here you will be able to find out activity. Within that activity you will be able to see the list of the activities or the types of the activities which were visible when we created a new project. So here we will go with empty views activity. Name this activity, let us say name this activity in this case as second activity. Generate a layout file is already checked, and yes, we would like to generate a layout file. Name of the layout is, let it be activity underscore second, and whether we want it to be a launcher activity. So as of now we will say no, or we will check it because we want main activity as to be a launcher activity. Launcher activities are those activities which are visible very first when we open the application. So अभी इसको click नहीं करेंगे, and remaining things let it be there. Yes. अब जो हमारा मेन एक्टिविटी था, दैट इज दिस वन. अच्छा, हमें लेआउट में पहले एक बटन भी बनाना पड़ेगा. उसी के क्लिक इवेंट पे कॉल करेंगे सेकेंड एक्टिविटी. तो इसको भी विड्थ मैच पेरेंट ले लेते हैं. हाइट रैप कंटेंट, आईडी, बीटीएन, डेटा, सेंड डेटा, And let me also convert this orientation to vertical. Let layout gravity be center and gravity also to be center. Let us execute this example once so that we understand the layout of first activity which we have created. Our application is getting launched. So build is successful, launch succeeded, and this is our GUI. So this looks perfect as of now. Let us have one margin. We'll copy this everywhere just to have a gap between multiple views. Let it run, and in between we'll start writing code in main activity. We have one button, so button send data. We have two edit text. Yes, in the right side now we can see this looks good. Okay enough, I mean. And then have text view. Text view we don't need it. Edit text. Alt enter, and this class would be added. Let me use this way. Yes. Now let us find all three. EDT, roll number is equal to find view by ID, r dot id dot, and this is EDT name. EDT name is equal to find view by ID, r dot id dot EDT name, and then let us find button or associate button. Now we'll have to create a click listener. So what we'll be doing is in this method btn send data dot set on click listener, new view on click listener. Now here we would like to send or capture this data first and then would like to send it to the next activity. So for that we will have to create an intent. First let us capture this data. So EDT, let us take two local variables, string r number is equal to EDT roll number dot get text dot toString, and string, we can also take this as a number. Why I am not able to see EDT name? Okay, because I have used same name. Perfect. Now, our next important concept here, which is new to you in this video, is creation of intent. Intent will help you, or intent class will help you to move to another activity, and you can also pass on the bundle of a data to another activity. This concept is known as bundle passing. So intent, uh, say I next is equal to, and then new intent. This intent is expecting from you two parameters. One is which activity you are in, and the second activity which you want to move. So in this case, we are in main activity dot this, and second is we want to move to second activity. So second, but here you will have to mention second activity dot class. Now we have created an object of intent class. Then either if you do not want to pass on this data, it's fair enough. It is not necessary that to move to a next activity, data needs to be bundled and pass on. But in this case, we will do it. So, or we want to do it. So I next dot put extra. Now, as you can see in this drop down window, there are a lot of various options. In the first option, you can have string and integer. You can also have string and bytes, string and character, string and float. Now, what does it mean? In the first variable is a string. So, this variable says that I am the key, and the right one says that I am the value. So, in an intent, value would be passed in the form of key and value pair. Everywhere, first parameter would be key. You can also consider it as a name of the variable, and second value would be the value of the variable. But you need to choose it accordingly. First you need to think of that which data type you need to pass, and accordingly you choose the your put extra method. In this case, you want to pass a string, so we can take this one, and then we will write here our number, because we have no we want key. So here we will pass on the key, that is roll number, comma, and then our roll number is there in R number. Even if you do not choose appropriate method, based on what parameter you have written over here, it will act accordingly. Let me copy paste this, and here we need a name, and here we would write, instead of R number, we will write name. After putting this in intent, we will have to start this activity. So start activity and I next. So when a button would be clicked, these values would be captured, a new intent would be created, values would be kept as a bundle in that particular intent, a new activity would be started, and we'll be passing on one parameter which says that this is an object of an intent, and this object is saying that take me to this class from this class, that is take me to second activity dot class from main activity dot this input in this particular example. Now let us open second activity. Now here we would like to take or accept this parameters and display it on a screen, just to visualize that yes, whatever we did was correct. So in this case, to display, we will have to use text view. We can also use toast, but let us have a text view. Only one text view, let us have it, and we will concatenate the string and display on it. What happened to this? Yes. Width, let it be wrap content. This also wrap content, and ID. Let us change the font size. Make it 25 sp. And let us change the color also. What I prefer is first I choose black color, and then either I redefine the colors over there. It a colors one, that is a better approach, or only for one particular thing you need to use a color, then you can have it here as well. Let us choose this blue color, and here we will have to find that or associate view so that we can utilize it further. After association, uh, we are supposed to accept the data which we have passed in a on a first activity. So in that case, we will have to create again an object of an intent class, type intent, then you can give any name. Say I'll say from first activity, and is equal to, you'll have to call a method get intent. Let us import this class, and then we need to remember the key values which we have passed on there. These key values which are going to give us the values which are being or given by the user. So here in this case, roll number and name and R and N are capital. It is case sensitive, so stay cautious. Here, let us now take string name is equal to, our intent object is this, and dot here. One more concept to be learned over here is, if you have passed string data over here, that you will have to call get data string. If you have, or get string extra. If you have passed on integer, then you will have to use get integer extra. So here in this case, we have used get string extra. So we will use this, and first we will use roll number. N was also capital. Let me cross check. No, N is small. So this mistake should be avoided, and better way is to copy paste this and utilize it over here. Now again, I'll copy this entire statement, and here I would write name, and here, no, this was a roll number, so our number, and here let it be name, and let us showcase it in our text show dot set text and roll number plus R number plus name plus name. Yes. Now let us execute this. What should happen is, first activity should be executed, and then when we pass on data in edit text, that on a click of a button, that data should be transferred to the second activity, and this, it should be visible on this txt show data. Let me check once whether I have converted. Let us change the orientation to vertical and gravity to center, just for better visibility. Let us execute this. Yes. Here let us enter roll number. Say for example, I'm entering 10, and name. So we should have padding over here. Can you see that this data is quite visible in the left side? So we'll have padding over here, or we can also have margins. Padding would work better. There's a difference between margin and a padding. Margin means how much parent of this particular children, that is view, should be away from it, and padding is distance within the view itself. And let us write down here Sonal and click on send the data. Yes. So this activity is open and we have made some mistake. Roll number may, it should not be Sonal. So this is a mistake of a copy paste. We'll go in a second one and here it should be, no, here we have taken roll number only. So our mistake is in sending, not in receiving. Here we see put extra. Here we are taking edt roll number dot get text dot to string, and here we are taking R number, EDT name, EDT roll number. EDT roll number is in roll number and EDT name is in name. R number and name. Again on second activity, let us cross check. Roll number, R number. Name in a name. So let us use toast on a first activity. In that case, we will understand whether it works. Here itself it is correct or not. Toast dot make text this comma. Let us display only roll number first. Roll number comma toast dot long and then show. I have written main activity dot this over the here and let us re-execute it. R number Sonal. How it could be? Oh, R number Sonal. When I am clicking on this, so here only we are able to capture it incorrectly. And here it is EDT roll number. Let us see the mapping then. Oh, so here I have made a mistake. Both EDT text were mapped to same variable. We need roll number. One edit text was mapped to two different variables rather. Now it would work. The way we found out our mistake is known as a debugging. There are various other systematic ways of debugging as well, which I'll discuss it in the few next videos. Here 10 and here add Sonal. Let it be SON. Send data. Yes, now it is working. Let us also change this. Let us use padding to shift this content with user is entering in the center. Let us also increase the font size of insert example. So I'll move to intent. Here I'll go and add a padding. Padding, let me add 20 dp is fair enough in both. Let us check in design itself. Yes, and there is a gap in the left side if you can see. And main code text view. Now let us re-execute it. I hope you have understood the concept which I wanted to teach you in this video, that we can transfer or we can move from one activity to another activity on certain based on the certain events, and we can also transfer the data which is available in one activity to another activity. One activity has to be declared as a launcher activity. In this case, main activity was a launcher activity. In the next class, I'll teach you that how to change an activity to a another activity to a launcher activity. In that case, that activity would be opened first. So you can see the left we have a gap. So this is a role of padding. Here also we could have given margins. In this case, if you see button, we need a gap from linear layout. So that is because we have taken width of this button as a match parent. So it is of course trying to match the parent, but after matching the parent also we need a gap of certain DPs. So in that case we'll have to use margin. In this case padding is not going to work because padding says that this send data which is visible in the center, if it would have been in a left, then padding would have worked. Okay, I want to display this send data over here. In this case, margin would actually make this button uh, distant from a layouts. Let us see that as well. So you learn this concept also in this video. And to do that, we'll have to move to activity main.xml and code. Here, margin. Let us have that margin from all the sides and 25 SP. You can also view this in the design itself. Design. Yes, you can see that now this button is 25 dp far from the parent. So I don't think now we need to execute this. I hope you have understood the concept. Second activity, let me showcase you Java code once more, just to make sure that you have understood that concept, because we'll be using this in the next video as well to create a small application. We'll call it as a mini project. Here, as you see, we had one txt show data wherein we aimed to capture the data from main activity and would be displaying this data in a this particular activity. Then we created a class of a object of a class intent. In this case, we utilized the method get intent. After that, we created two local variables, and using this object of an intent class, we have called the method get string extra, and we have passed on the keys. So this keys will give basically are holding the values which we are available in the main activity, and then we displayed it. This is how the concatenation of the strings can be done. So thank you.